Houston, Texas. We are a law firm that handles immigration, criminal defense, and small business claims. We've been doing these videos on YouTube and Facebook to answer a lot of questions people have regarding the subjects of immigration, criminal defense, and small business. Today's video in particular is going to be immigration. Immigration tends to be what most of the people have questions about, and it tends to be a majority of our practice. So I wanted to give a little bit of update as to how I see things are going now that we're about, today is May 21st, 2021. We're done with the first quarter of the president, right? The new president, Joe Biden. So I kind of wanted to give my take on what I believe is happening with immigration and where I think it's going and where I think it's going to end up, right? So once again, this is just my opinion. Could be wrong, blah, blah stuff, but I'll try to back it up. So Joe Biden was coming in, he replaced Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump had put some pretty strict or restrictive immigration limitations, right? And we saw this all across the board. So now that the Biden administration came in, they came in with a new tone, right? They kind of came embracing immigration a little bit more. And we can see that with some of the actions they've taken. One of the big things that Joe Biden was trying to fight, and the Democratic Party is still trying to fight, is what's called DACA, right? DACA is for the Dreamers. So one of the things Biden said he would do is he would try to find some sort of legislation, something that we could do to get people who have DACA or very similar situation, let's get them a path to citizenship. So as of today, May 2021, that hasn't happened yet. There's been talks about it, but nothing has come into play yet. But there have been groups getting together. So that's kind of I would think that's a good thing. It's kind of moving the ball forward. However, it's not as quick as I think a lot of people who have DACA or Dreamers would like. That being said, though, they are still accepting initial applications for DACA, right? That was something that we were running into trouble during the Trump administration. So now, if you were eligible for DACA, give us a call, or you can do it yourself. Just make sure you do it right, guys, because there's been a lot of people who... So DACA, when it came out, there was DACA 1 and kind of DACA 2. DACA 1 came out first, and then they came out with DACA 2, and they made DACA 2 a little bit more expansive. Make sure you qualify for DACA 1. They're not doing DACA 2. And if you don't know what that is, just give us a call. We're more than happy to help. So in terms of that, Biden has said he's going to help with the Dreamers, right? So that's one thing. Another thing they've done is they've hired a lot more immigration judges. And the reason why is, so being as an immigration lawyer, when we have to go to court, there are just way too many people from, they're called respondents, right? That's what you call an undocumented person or someone who's in removal proceedings. And just not enough judges. And the backlog is just ridiculous. So they've brought a lot more judges, and they need to do that. They need to facilitate the process. It's going extremely slow. So we need to work on that. So that's been another thing. I believe it was beginning of March, the Biden administration did something called TPS, Temporary Protected Status. And what that is when the USA designates a certain country, they can say, listen, we're going to give this country TPS, Temporary Protected Status. So if you are from that country and you are here in the USA on an arbitrary date, usually it's the date they come out with it, you can get TPS and you can be here in the USA. So the example is that happened in the country of Venezuela. So I think it was March 5th. I'm sorry, I don't know. But I remember it was the first week of March that if you are from the country of Venezuela, a citizen there, or that's the last place you have permanently resided, and then you were here in the USA on the time that the announcement was made, you can apply for TPS, right? And that's a great thing because that's a lot of people who... There's a lot of people from Venezuela who are here currently in the USA because they're fleeing the situation that's going on in their country, right? So this is a huge breath of air for those people who do qualify. So that's another step that, something we weren't seeing with the Trump administration. But this shows the Biden administration kind of being a little bit more pro-immigration. Also, today I was looking at, I get newsletters about, what's going on in the immigration world. And there was some news articles that you were going around for a while about how some detention centers, immigration detention centers, were mistreating people, right? So what happens is this. If you get arrested for a crime like drinking and driving, assault, you go to jail, right? the jail for you did a crime. But if you just get arrested or you get detained just because of your immigration, because you're not here, you don't go to the same place. You go to a different place. It's called an immigration detention center. They're sprinkled all the way throughout the USA. So I received this thing today saying that the USA, or Department of Homeland Security, is terminating their contracts with 2 detention centers in Massachusetts, one in Massachusetts and one in Georgia, because they had been mistreating inmates, right? And that's not good, right? Obviously, that's not good. But it, once again, by the DHS and the Biden administration terminating those contracts, it shows that they're getting away from those type of practices that were very commonly seen during the Trump administration. Let me see, what else did I think that was going important. In regards to asylum, right? So asylum is a big thing. Asylum means you are fleeing your country based off there's 5 reasons, and that you fear persecution or future persecution, all that stuff. The thing with asylum, though, it's very difficult to prove all the... Sorry, my Alexa started talking. With asylum, it could be difficult to win your case. So that's why you would see that a lot of people are at the border, and they're just kind of stopped there, right? So they're all coming in, trying to get into the USA, but they don't have valid visas, so their only claim to try to get in is to do asylum. So during the Trump administration, they opened up those migrant camps, migrant border camps, and that's where they would have to stay. They would fight their asylum, see how things go. Now Biden's trying to change that around, and another thing I saw here is that they're going to admit what's called 250 vulnerable migrants into the USA daily. I don't know exactly what that means, but it looks like up to 250 people are going to be able to come in. Okay, what that means is this. There's a lot of people who are at the border, so it looks like their Department of Homeland Security says, listen, we're willing to allow up to 250, but you have to be particularly vulnerable. That's what they use in quotations there. How are they going to figure that out? I don't know, but that's, again, another step showing that, they're slightly opening the doors in this pro-immigration way. And then there was one more that I wanted to read to you guys. I can't find that right now. But long story short, what I'm trying to say is, in these first quarter of 2021, there have been changes to immigration already, and I'm noticing them as a lawyer. My clients are noticing them. Things are still going a little slow. I don't know whether that's because of the administration or that's of COVID and people aren't working as much at the processing centers. I get that. But, the view is starting to go a little bit more pro-immigration. So hopefully they're able to pass something for DACA. Maybe there's going to be some larger immigration reform that I think a lot of people could benefit from, right? So that's kind of my little update for you guys on May 21st, 2021. It looks like we're going that way. Things are going well. I would still tell anybody, listen, if you are here in this country undocumented or if you have overstayed, give us a call if you want to know how we can help, because there are certain things you can do depending on what immigration status you're in. But also, I would tell everyone, listen, if you're here as an immigrant, stay clear of the law, right? You don't want to get in trouble for a crime, because that's just going to add a more pain in the butt to your case, okay? But once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hearing me talk. I enjoy making these videos. I enjoy answering the questions. A lot of y'all will ask questions in the comment box. You'll message me, and I either try to get back to you or I try to make a video that answers that question. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, do everything that social media can allow you to do, and I'm gonna keep on making these videos, okay? So I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. My name is Attorney Charles Zavala here from Zavala Texas Law. You all have a beautiful day. Thank you.